Hello and welcome everyone to Twin Mirrors. We are out in the wild at the crash site where Nick died, where the supposed accident happened, after we made the gruesome discovery last time that Dennis was killed. And we got some pretty good evidence that something might have been wrong with Nick's death as well. He was investigating a story that seemed pretty big, and it could very well be that whoever is involved in that story is the one killing people. Obviously, we are a little bit implicated in all of that as well, since we were at the crime scene of Dennis's death. We have our shirt with blood, we woke up without memory, and we kind of have to clear our name and
The bark got badly
solve
burnt.
the crime.
Must be where Nick crashed.
So now we're looking for clues, and
The car went up like kindling. It was pretty intense, judging the damages to the area.
hints to really figure out what happened that night, or at least get a better picture. This where he... Ah.
Two of the road signs were torn out. Did Nick's car do that?
That's the question.
That piece of wood must be from one of the damaged road signs. No skid marks, no trace of sudden braking. The fire shouldn't have been able to spread that far.
Yeah, there are definitely some
These road signs are intact. Not a scratch on them.
weird, some weird details about it. We also know that he was known to roll down his windows a little bit because he felt claustrophobic in cars. But when he was found, the window was all the way shut.
Maybe Nick tried to avoid this log. It's a bit far from the road.
Also, the police report stated that he might have been intoxicated in some way, which, according to Sam, is also very unusual, at least. And what was the other part that was strange? Oh, that he didn't wear a seatbelt either.
A fuel stain. From Nick's car? Was it leaking fuel?
That's a lot of fuel, though.
Nick took this turn every day. It shouldn't have surprised him.
I mean, it's definitely possible that something happened and he was intoxicated. But the fact that the car burned down that fast and with so much fire, now we find a puddle of fuel here, and leads me to believe that someone was maybe tampering with his fuel
An animal came
lines,
through
or
here. Maybe that's what surprised Nick. But the tracks don't reach the road.
they don't reach the road. Anything in this direction? No. Okay. Missing something, otherwise I would be able to construct what happened. Something about here, maybe. Behind the tree either. Oh, there's something.
Debris from Nick's car. The police didn't clean up very well.
Yeah, what kind of police work is that again? Something on the back here? No. Huh. What am I missing?
Best to leave her alone. It's a lot to take in.
Okay. What am I missing here? Can't be missing too many clues. So we found the animal footprints. Just the log. Did I miss anything here? Oh, there. Aha.
The tire tracks clearly show where Nick's car went off the road.
Okay. I think now we can recreate it.
That's all the information I need. Time to put everything together.
Mind Palace time.
The report states Nick was driving under the influence of alcohol. He was startled by an animal. And drove through a road sign before crashing into a tree. Things don't add up. I need to find out what really happened.
Okay. Caught on fire, leaking fuel. So we're leaking fuel here. I would say it's probably unconscious. And we're like speeding down here. Might be an obstacle. What about no obstacle? And he would just... Yep.
The fire damaged both the car and the tree heavily.
I would say that's it though, right? Like he was probably unconscious. He was intentionally leaking fuel, no obstacle.
How could the signs have burned during the crash then?
The signs.
The road signs were damaged. 2 of them torn and burnt.
Was it on fire before? Oh, was it already? Yeah, it was probably already on fire.
Only one simulation fits the evidence. The police report was wrong.
That's how he was sent into his death.
I thought you quit.
I did. So, did you find anything?
Nick, he was murdered. I'm sorry, The police report was clearly wrong.
Fucking...
Anna?
Here, just...
Joe, it's Sam.
Where's Anna? Is she okay?
Yeah, she's right here. She's just a bit busy.
I need her to come back immediately. There's been a break-in at her place.
What?
What? Are you all right? What happened?
I wasn't there when it happened. Just arrived. Called the police, then called my daughter.
We're on our way.
Ooh.
Someone broke into your house.
Yeah, someone is really anxious to get some information that Nick probably uncovered. I really like our mind control. Well, not mind control, but our mind powers. That's a cool way to reconstruct what happened.
Okay, so, about Dad. Don't tell him what we found. Please. It'd just worry him for no reason.
How are you holding up? After finding out what we found out.
I'm guessing about as well as you. Not great. Let me go calm my father down. I'm pretty sure he's ready to call the National Guard.
Anna,
Maybe give her a few moments with Joe before you barge in. Also, take a few moments for yourself as well. You used to live here, and now some other guy, Nick, of all people, was living here. With her, things are different. She's different. You're different.
I hope I'm different enough.
I'm different. But am I different enough to not fall into old patterns?
Keep in mind, Sam, no matter how much you want to, you can never go home again.
That's comforting. Do we have any updates here? Sure do. After I found Dennis murdered, Anna and I called the cops. We tried to cover our tracks as much as possible. I'm not happy about Anna getting mixed up in this, but being honest with her feels like the only right thing to do in this whole mess. Realizing that Nick's death could only have been murder brought me focus and clarity, but for Anna it was a shock. She barely had time to react, but there's no doubt it hit her hard. It's our update. Nick's accident report was shoddy. I can't count on the police anymore. Worse, they might think I killed Dennis. I'm not sure dragging Anna into this was smart. Nick was investigating something. He always wanted to break a big story, but in the end, did it fizzle out like he said to Walter, or was he just keeping things to himself? Now that I've been to the side where Nick had his fatal crash, I'm convinced it was an accident. Drunk driving and speeding just doesn't square with his personality. Getting in over his head with an investigation does, unfortunately. Walter had these nameplates made for the team. It was tradition at the Basswood jungle to have an end-of-year party in the office. Walter insisted on it, paying for booze and food out of his own pocket. One year he even got presents for everyone, engraved nameplates for your desks. Now if anyone walks in here, they'll see what we mean business, he said, beaming with pride. Walter started at the Basswood jungle as a gopher, having dropped out of high school after his father passed away. He climbed up the ranks over the years. He lives and breathes the newspaper. Telling stories gets under your skin, he would always say. Your comrades are family, and we look after our own. Looks like he could never bring himself to throw out your nameplate, even after you left. That's kind of sweet. Tara made us all pose for a team photo when we moved into this office. Remember the day when Tara decided the Basswood jungle needed a team photo? Nobody wanted to do it, but they couldn't say no to Tara without a good excuse. In the end, it only took her about half an hour to gild the entire office. Dennis said he'd be in the photo only if you would be there too. He knew you never liked forced fun, pub quizzes, organized team lunches. Your reluctance to pose for a photo was a safe bet, but you agreed. Tara was pleased with herself. A team photo only really matters if everyone is in it. Maybe she had a point. It's the only team photo the Basswood jungle has ever taken. Now with the break and are we running into the police, will that cause an issue here?
The last time I was here, I was shoving way too many boxes into a trunk that couldn't fit them all. He had to get a new one after the accident. Must have been very expensive.
Looks like a nice house.
Didn't think I'd see it again. Not looking forward to stepping back inside.
It's fine, Dad. I can handle this.
Someone broke into my daughter's house and you want me to just sit by and wait?
Yes, that is exactly what I want you to do. Don't you have an appointment?
I always have an appointment. I'm at the doctor's more often than I'm home. Sam, talk some sense into my daughter here.
I don't know. I want to drag him
I'm gonna
in
have
either.
to side with Anna on this one. Can't miss appointments.
Just because I'm an old man in a wheelchair, you two think you can push me around.
Dad, I love you. And I love that you want to protect me, but please, it'll be okay. Go to your doctor's appointment. The police will be here soon.
I'm just belly aching. It's your house. Your rules. I'll leave you to it.
Thank you.
Though before I head off, Sam, you tell me if something was going on, right? Anna's brave and she's strong, but she's also stubborn.
Dad, I told you I can take care of myself.
And I'm old enough to know when things ain't right. You tell me now, Sam. You tell me if my little girl is in danger. I can't watch over her anymore, so I need you to keep her safe.
Stop talking about me like I'm not here.
Joe, I don't know.
She's all I have left. Promise me you'll protect her. I need your word.
Wow. Heavy. Joe's really laying on the paternal guilt.
I can't promise
Sure
something
does.
like that. I don't know what might happen.
He just wants to feel like someone is looking out for her. I can't blame him.
And what if I can't keep that promise?
Then refuse. All I know is I personally couldn't say no to a desperate father.
I don't know. We promise. I mean, we would do the best we could anyway. Like, we care for Anna. And it's not like we would just ignore her. So I think we can make that promise in good conscience.
I still can't hide anything from you.
Sam, don't.
I won't lie, Joe. There is something going on. It could be dangerous, but I'll make sure Anna doesn't get mixed up in it.
All right. I'm
I
trusting
didn't
you on
know that
this.
we would tell him that something is
I'm
going
not some
on.
kid. I decide what I get mixed up in.
You can't blame me for looking after you.
I just didn't want you to worry. You're both so patronizing. I'm heading inside.
I thought we
See
would
you
just
later.
be saying, like, we make sure that she's safe, no matter what is going on here. We want to be patronizing. I'm sure she can handle herself. Just wanted to ease his mind so he doesn't get involved either, which would then be another worry for her.
I need to get in there eventually, but maybe I should look around the property first.
Oh,
It's Bugs. She probably brought it over one time when she came with Nick.
join Anna inside the house. Well, I want to look around outside the house first.
I used to follow it down to the shack every other week for Fishing Sunday. It was great to come back from work, sit down, and read until the sun went down.
Not bad. That looks lovely. I mean, looks a little bit weathered, but
Anna and I spent our nights out here, trying to find all the constellations.
yeah, that would be lovely to hang out like on a nice day. The stream here. Doesn't seem like we... Oh, there's a mind palace thing about this sign.
I think the happiest I ever saw Anna was the day she bought this place.
Let's see.
I want every everyone to know this house is sold. You're mine. I own you now. It might be 200 years before it's paid off, but it's mine.
So, when can I start moving my own stuff in?
After you finish carrying all my stuff in.
Sure, but that means I get to choose which side of the bed I'm sleeping on.
What? No. You're gonna sleep on the side closest to the door.
Why's that?
So if someone breaks in, you can fight them off. And maybe because I like being near the window.
Somehow I feel like it's entirely the second thing and not at all the first.
We can talk about all this after my stuff's inside.
But all your stuff's so heavy.
Which is why I need your help. Don't slack, Sam. This house isn't gonna decorate itself. And I want you to be part of that.
That is a very sweet memory. But I don't see any... Oh, paint bucket. I don't see any traces out here. Possible footsteps or anything. Wheelchair ramp.
Sent from a mourner. Anna probably couldn't handle taking it inside.
Hope she's not too mad at us. I really was just kind of trying to ease his mind because I feel like he wouldn't have just let off if we would have said everything is fine, but instead would have been mad at us, plus then maybe get himself involved. I don't think would be a good idea. Especially considering with who we're dealing with here. A person or group or whatever is definitely not shying away from violence. Fuck.
Anna is not well. This time, at least, try to be there for her.
Don't give me the sass. Bob. Maybe I should call him just Bob. Then we have a name for him.
Anna? Anna, are you okay? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no.
Stop it, Bob.
She needs you, buddy. Needs me? I don't even think she knows I'm here. What am I supposed to do? Something. Anything. It's the thought, the effort. Get her a drink. Just show her you're here. I'm not sure how a drink will make her feel better about murders and break-ins. But I guess I've heard worse ideas. She kept the drinks in the kitchen, in one of the pantries.
Broken photo frame. Ugh, that stinks. Or at least that must sting. A little bit, right? Oof. What a mess. Oh, what is that? Him. We don't have a name
Making
for
a
him.
drink for Anna would be a good way to show her you're here for her.
Yeah, I get it.
She normally keeps some drinks in the pantry.
It's been a while, Sam. Things have changed around here. You feel like looking at old keepsakes?
No.
Maybe the
Who
wine
takes
bottle?
the time to have a drink in the middle of a break-in?
That's a good question. What do we have here? I'm sorry about yesterday. You're right. I've been distant. Things have been pretty messy at work lately. You don't have to forgive me, but if you'd like to invite me to a concert, I'll just leave these two here. P.S. There might be some pepperoni rolls in the fridge. Yeah.
Anna's favorite band. Smooth as always, Nick.
That's a pretty good apology.
Anna always wanted to visit France, but life is just too strange for me there.
Life is strange.
No drinks in here. Ah, here's where she keeps the drinks.
Ooh, do we pick the whiskey or the chocolate drink? I don't know. I feel like it's a whiskey kind of day.
On the bright side, I don't think it's possible to make her feel worse.
You're not helping.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. Thanks.
Don't creep me out, Bob.
This feels like the only part of the house I recognize. And whatever punk broke in here wrecked it. There.
There we go.
I don't think she ever forgave me for saying I didn't think they sounded better.
Oof. Sacrilegious.
Cheesy action movies, dark thrillers, and human rights.
The melting pot of Anna.
Cyber darkness. Another memory.
Sam, what are you doing? I called for dinner like a dozen times. It's gonna get cold. I am not your mom, you know. Working on an article is no reason to ignore basic politeness, Sam. Fine. You can eat your dinner cold for all I care. I'm done waiting for you.
Anna has to be helping her dad out with these. I'm not sure it's enough.
We're a bit of a workaholic, it seems.
Anna would pace around the house for hours, then sit down and write her articles in one go. Anna always was more interested in people than cold hard facts.
By Anna Miller, New Perspective. Each year, Greenmount Primary School showcases new talent in an art contest. Amidst a jungle of creativity, one particular piece caught my eye. Sort of cryptic figure that refused to reveal its true nature to me. Unable to pierce the paper, young Timothy Brown had to step in. It's interactive, he said, pointing at a bump. You have to fold it out. One layer after another, the truth revealed itself. The cryptid slowly gave way to a map of Basswood. If you think you've seen it all, take a moment to look at what the new generation has to bring. You might be surprised. I was. Okay. Dear Miss Miller, my dad says writing thank you letters is what you do when someone is very nice, so I hope you like mine. I would like to thank you very, very much for how you wrote about me. I don't know why you thought my drawings was worth talking about over the others, but it was very nice, very, very nice of you to talk about it. My dad put your article on the fridge and circled my name. I'm kind of scared some people might have gone and seen it and been disappointed, but maybe not. If I ever win another art contest, I will tell you. Sincerely, Timothy Brown. That's sweet.
Not surprised Anna keeps this letter. I'd keep it too.
Yeah, that's sweet. Let's see if we can help her with some good old whiskey.
Here, might take the edge off.
That's sweet. I'd assumed you'd already gone to look around and, I don't know, think. This is just so fucked. Nick, my house,
Sam, you should distract her. Get her talking or thinking about anything else.
my stuff, everything is trashed. Is this like the worst coincidence?
Probably not.
Or is it related to Nick's death? Did his murderer break into my house?
Not alone. Here, have a drink. It'll help.
Nice hot cup of whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's helping a bit.
I got this for Anna's birthday after she
Travel
mentioned wanting
journal.
to travel more.
Documents, we have all that. Okay, I guess we now look around more. What does find a way to comfort Anna?
Good thing it's intact. It's about the last thing Anna has of her mother.
What are your suggestion?
Anna always has trouble thinking when there's weird noises going on. To be fair, most people do. Like that. Whatever that is, it'd be smart to find it and shut it off. Finally, there.
Weird noise. I don't hear noise.
Hey, are you feeling better?
Yeah. Thank you, Sam. Sorry, I just kind of lost it for a second there.
Understandable.
Yeah, I mean, careful, Sam. You know you can be indelicate. She needs your support right now.
No.
I mean, it hasn't been an easy week, you know? And I've got the feeling it isn't over yet.
I'm here for you.
Whatever happens, you're not alone. We'll face it together.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I needed to hear that.
Reminding her she has people to lean on is a great start.
This whole thing is a
Thanks,
mess.
Bob.
But honestly, it's been a mess for a while. Like, everything was fine, you know? Nick moved in, it was nice, but lately he just closed himself off. He'd been gone most nights, at the bar or the fishing shack, come home late, refusing to talk about his work. It got unbearable. It was almost like I was living with you all over again.
Thanks.
It doesn't feel good, but she needs to get this off her chest. Don't be too harsh on her.
Yeah, I deserve that.
You're right. I shut you out, and I'm sorry.
The past is the past. None of what's happening now is your fault. I'm just lashing out. It's just having you in the house. It's bringing back a lot of things. We had a good time. So many memories here, both bad and great.
We did have a good time, yeah.
But then came Dad's accident, the mine investigation, your proposal. I still feel horrible about how it all happened. But you understand why I said no, right?
Face it, Sam. If you had paid attention, you'd have known she wasn't going to say yes.
Didn't listen to you.
You didn't want a ring. You told me before. I thought it was what you're supposed to do. I thought maybe it'd save us.
That's a nice thought. I feel like you're listening now. And I thank you for that, you know? It ended so abruptly, you and I. I don't think I ever took the time to really process what happened. I wonder if it would have ended the same way with Nick. If my relationship with him was as doomed as my relationship with you. The way Nick closed himself off to me the last few weeks.
But that very
Maybe
well
it's
might
just
be
me.
just with
Maybe
the
I can't bear to live with someone, to
investigation that he
truly
was
share
doing.
my life, to make compromises and all that.
I don't think it was doomed. I think it was probably the investigation that was on his mind, and considering how dangerous it turned out, maybe that's why he just closed himself off so much, because he didn't want to drag her into it.
It wasn't doomed. It's just like every relationship. It requires a lot of work from everyone involved. Whether people are ready to put in the work, well, that's different. I think we weren't. Not really. At least I wasn't.
Good to see you realized that.
Thanks, Bob.
Maybe. We were younger, different. It feels like a lifetime has passed. It doesn't matter anyway now, does it? He's dead, and whatever we had is done. And we're on our own if we're gonna find out who killed him. I'm not backing down from this, no matter what we find. What about you?
Yeah, I mean,
Of course.
I want to know who killed Nick as much as you do.
Let's get the asshole who did this behind bars. It's the only thing we can do for Nick now. I just keep bouncing back from terrified to angry.
That is very understandable.
Yeah.
Can you take a look upstairs? I still need a moment. Let me make sure I'm done crying and all that.
Take your time. I'll tell you if anything's wrong.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay, I would say that went pretty well, right? Look around upstairs. We have a few updates here. I had to give Joe my word that I keep Anna safe. Words, promises. Do these things come easy to other people? Joe seems to take them very seriously. Yeah, he sure does. Anna and I had the talk about Nick, about us, about everything that went wrong. We're still trying to get through to each other. Nothing's changed there, but we both want to get to the bottom of this for Nick's sake. That makes sense. Anna loved daydreaming about exotic places. She turned it into a game, asking where you'd go if you could drop everything and travel the world. If you want to see Paris, London, Shanghai, Vietnam, Berlin, and more. She talked for hours about the places, the museums, the people, the languages. You said you preferred a hike in the mountains, miles away from people. She laughed and suggested the Himalayas. But you had the hiking trail around Basswood in mind. You bought her that journal to humor her. Maybe she knew. Maybe she thought she'd convince you one day. Either way, she kept the journal. The pages are still empty. So she never really got to travel, it seems. It's kind of sad. So here we have some of the stats as to how we choose. Let's go through it a little bit. Reunion with Joan. I promised Joan I'd ask some question about her father's death. Raise a glass. I ignored the miner who tried to pick a fight with me at the pub. That's 63%. Remember Nick? I found it hard to see all those pictures of Nick on the memorial board. To Nick, I wasn't in the mood to say a toast in Nick's memory. Gumshoe. Snuck out of the bar before Ethan could have seen me. Told out the truth when she asked me about Dennis. Talked to Kathy in the drugstore. How 101%? What? What? Didn't waste time listening to Declan. Yeah, we cut him off pretty harshly. Met Christina. Talked to Tara. Decided to listen to Anna, accepted Anna's offer. Sure, I didn't want Anna to dwell on her sorrows. Promised to Joe. Interesting. Well, I think this is a good time to take a break, and the next time we will go upstairs, hopefully find out more about the break-in, and maybe get a lead. That would be actually pretty helpful, because so far, like now we know that something was very, very off about the accident, that it was not an accident, in fact, but we don't really have a lead as to how to find out who it was or where we should start. So maybe whoever broke in made a mistake and left some clues for us to pick up. Either way, thank you all for joining me for today's episode of Twin Mirror. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a like. Maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Share the video with friends, family, and the people on the internet. That all helps me out a whole bunch and will bring you more content in the future. If you want to go above and beyond in your support, you can check out the Patreon link down below. And I will be back with more Twin Mirror tomorrow. Until then, have a great time.